I mean, there are so many big artists who never talk about their work, and it's I don't get it. It's there's a cat in your back. Sorry.
I have 8 cats, and this one is a camera whore.
All right.
If he knows the camera's on, he's gonna come over my shoulder.
My dog's asleep, so he's there. We're good.
Yeah.
The talking about art is difficult for artists, and I think a lot of my YouTube, I think I told you by email, was an accident. It just happened because of lockdown. Otherwise, I never would have done it. Yeah. And I think it is an extension of my job, where I used to take kids around Europe, and try to explain things succinctly and clearly and entertaining with lots of gossip and all that kind of stuff. And the other way was, and it's what I like. It's what I really like to hear, that stuff, And then the other thing was I had a gallery, and our gallery, one, we used to make press releases which were clear, that people could understand. And secondly, we made artists talk about their work. We had artist talks where people would come and have a conversation with them. And I think that's why this is an extension of that. I'm really interested in, my background is a working class background with no art whatsoever. None. Zero. I had my dad was a truck driver, but I was lucky enough to live in London, where all the museums are free, and it rains a lot here. So if you're chucked out the house for the day when your mum doesn't want you around, then one place to go is museums, and it sinks in, and that's how I learned to love art. And I think I'm really passionate about how art has transformed my life, and I think it can be transformative. And I don't think it needs to be complicated. The art world understands that now, by the way. If you go into MoMA in New York, the explanations about the art are much clearer than they used to be. They really are. They understand now that people, they want to make connections. They want to understand, how does this art fit in with this, etc. And it was started by the Tate Gallery in London, making their labels clearer, making them simpler. And I think that's a good thing. People like me can go and read these ridiculous books that no one wants to read, It's
say that I recently applied to an art grant, and I had to do some kind of write up about my work. And one thing I noticed about their requirements is they basically, in very polite words, were like, we don't want pretentious nonsense. Just tell us why you're creating what you're creating and what it's about.
Yeah. No, I think going back to when I had the gallery, when I was writing the press release without the artist, I would say, this is a painting on a wall, or this is an installation piece. It's made with this. The artist is trying to talk about this just really clearly and simply. There is a place for art theory and art criticism, but I think it's for the elite. When in the Bosch videos, my theory, I follow other people's theories as well, but one of the theories is that it wasn't designed for religion. It was designed as a conversation piece, for the court of Henry III to talk about, to discuss really. And I think that an ordinary person in the street would not have understood that painting. And that is why it was done. And that is why people have art speak to this day, is to keep ordinary people out of art. I'm not sure if it's intentional anymore, but it's certainly there. I mean, art galleries are intimidating places for a lot of people. And not so much in the UK because they're free, and when something is free, it means that someone can just pop into the gallery. You're not paying $20 or $10 or £10 or something and see one painting and leave. You don't have to spend the whole day there to try and get your money's worth. And I think that is, and it is in this country anyway, it's become something where people are not necessarily going for the art, they're going for the cafe now, and they're going for the bookshop. You know, it's consumerism has taken over what the art means, and that's okay as well. I like a good bookshop.